Alright, I know it's late, but Pine Power LI did a video about Channel 12 in Long Island, so now it's my turn to do a video about Channel 1. So what's going on, you may be wondering? Well, lots going on as usual. I am sure you are aware, but if you are not, there was a serial homeless killer that killed 5 people in both New York City and Washington, D.C. And obviously, guess what Channel 1 has on the homepage, you may be wondering. That's right, coronavirus. The endemic. We know how to deal with this already. Enough! Alright, we have drug treatments now. We have that Plaxafoid pill from Pfizer that's effective. That can reduce, treatment. Unvaccinated people should be prescribed it! That's how upset I am over this nightmare. No, the FDA just wants to play games and force people to take vaccines. That's a whole nother thing I don't want to get into. I mean, we have a drug treatment for the flu. And then, obviously, we got vaccines, blah, blah, blah. So we know how to treat this virus. It shouldn't be on the homepage. And obviously, I don't want to read from Channel 1. Not in any mood to deal with them. So let's read this article. So here we go. So it says that the suspect who was responsible for the murders of homeless individuals in New York City and Washington, D.C. has been apprehended. So the suspect was apprehended in Washington, D.C. So also, I will mention the FBI did get involved as well. So this was a very big deal. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. So back on Saturday the 12th, 4:30 a.m., a 38-year-old Hispanic homeless person took a bullet to his arm on King Street off Farrack. The victim was taken to Bellevue Hospital. So this is the one that disturbed me. 148 Lafayette Street, 4:30 p.m. Unhoused individual was found dead. Gunshot wound to the neck and head. I mean, this is disturbing. A witness told AM New York that he had heard gunfire at 6 a.m. but did not discover the dead corpse until later in the afternoon. Are you kidding me? I mean, this is what happens when you defund the police. And Eric Adams is not serious about it, I think. Okay, so let's look up the address. 148 Lafayette. I know where this is. You may be wondering. So let's pull it up. Hang on here. I'm just looking this up. No, that's not it. Where's the address in Lower Manhattan by the World Trade Center? That's not it. King and Varick. Yeah, there we go. Now I know where we're going. Okay, so we're just going to go here. I'm going to show you where this is. Right around here. Here's Warren. Right around here. Ah, okay, so I thought there was a stabbing in Lower Manhattan. That's a little bit unusual. Okay, that's not going to help us here. 148 Lafayette. But the point is, I mean, why would you want to kill homeless people? is my point. And you even have MTA Prodigy doing a video about this. So here we go. So let's see if they have anything about it. And obviously, I'm not going to play the video, but you get the idea. You get the idea of what's going on here. I'm just frankly disturbed and shocked about this. And I'm sure you also might have heard about what happened at MoMA. So, Gary Cabana was taken into custody in Philadelphia at 1:30 in the morning on Tuesday. And apparently, the suspect was caught sleeping on a bench in Philadelphia. So, here we go. And then look at this. He started a fire at a Best Western hotel. I mean, that's just... Here we go. Cabana knifed the employees at MoMA at 11 West 53rd Street in Midtown, which I've been to this museum before. It's a very beautiful museum. He was denied on Saturday, March 12th, after being denied entry to the art museum because his membership was revoked. So this guy probably had mental issues. I mean, that's just disturbing. So, it says here that Cabana came to the museum at 4:30 to see a film. So, yeah, this guy apparently might have had a little bit of mental issues. So, there you go. Another example of what happens when you cut mental health funding. And you can blame de Blasio for that. He's still at fault. And a lot of people don't realize it. So, apparently the suspect told the New York Post that he just snapped. Snap. I mean, again, another example of what happens when you cut mental health funding. Another example. And then two workers, both a 24-year-old man and a 24-year-old woman, were stabbed. I mean, think about it. You get denied entry into a museum for a reason. This guy was disorderly. I mean, if you're going to be disorderly, you know. And look at this. According to Chief of Detective James Isaac from the NYPD, according to this, that the Secret Service, the feds are now getting involved because apparently Isaac made threats to former President Donald Trump via email. Oh, boy. So there you go. I mean, obviously, do you think that there'd be anything on Channel 1 about a video about it? No, they're too busy focused on the neighborhood safety team. And by the way, I will mention, I did see a patrol from the 107 precinct today. So that shows you that maybe Eric Adams is trying to do something, but, you know, not refunding the police and not, you know, repealing the bail reform law, that's going to be a problem right there. So I'm going to read this. Channel 7 covered two of these today. So we do have a lot of subway stuff going on that we are going to talk about. I do want to get to the stabbing in Ozone Park, but I'm going to read this one first because this is more of an urgent matter that I think needs to be brought to everyone's attention. So here we go. So, wow, okay, I'm first reading about this. 25-year-old man was running an A train at 104th Street and Liberty Avenue, Ozone Park on the A line, 7 a.m. this morning when a man in his 30s robbed him over the head with a bottle. The victim was taken to Jamaica Hospital. So, where is the one at World Trade? Here we go. 36-year-old man was slashed in the left hand and underarm after a dispute with a 29-year-old woman on a northbound E train. So they actually got a photo of the victim who was beaten. Oh. Wait a minute. This is the suspect? I'm confused. Oh, okay. I don't know why he was in the police vehicle. All I know is, again, we're dealing with a very dangerous crime wave, and I just wish people would pay attention to what's going on in the city, because Pine Power LI is right. This is leading to a chain reaction event that's going into Long Island. You know, it really, really is. And I really suggest that you pay attention to what he's saying, because it's a very serious situation. And then this happened in broad daylight, during school hours. John Adams High School. I'm very annoyed that Channel 7 didn't send a reporter over to this. 2 teenage boys were stabbed this morning in Ozone Park near John Adams High School. Just before 10:30 a.m. on Tuesday, March 15th, 106 Precinct responded to a scene where a 16 and 17-year-old boy was stabbed in an alleged fight. Cops said it's unclear who stabbed the victims and whether the teens were students at the school. Police said the 16-year-old victim was stabbed once in the left leg and one time in the back. The 17-year-old boy was reportedly stabbed 3 times in the abdomen. The two were taken to Jamaica Hospital, where the 16-year-old was in stable condition. 17-year-old was in critical condition. So, circumstances of the incident are unknown. So, disturbing. Okay, so City Councilwoman Joanne Arola did confirm the lockdown at the school. So this is what she tweeted. There's an ongoing police investigation across the street from John Adams High School. Please avoid the area if possible. The school is secure and in lockdown. So, obviously, I know who Joanne Arola is. She is the City Council representative for the 32nd District. And then we return back to Queens Plaza, where another incident took place. Where is Channel 1 on this? Oh, just like how they were missing when there was that incident where the woman got shoved down the stairs. Here we go. March 13th. 31-year-old woman was going on the stairs to the E train at 5:45 in the morning, pulled out a blade and threatened the victim while demanding cash. This woman complied, handing over $200, and the suspect took off into the subway system. So, we do have a surveillance video, and the suspect's also wanted for fare evasion. Suspect described as Crime Stoppers, black headband, light colored hooded sweatshirt, and black pants and a trim beard. So, and apparently they forgot to mention that the suspect is Hispanic. Yep. Got a good look up. Definitely looks Hispanic. So, what else is going on in Queens, you may be wondering? This is going on. Only gonna read two more. Because we gotta get to some stuff going on in the Bronx that's really urgent. Man faces felony charges after shoving a 3-year-old girl to the ground. So here we go. A man with 8 prior arrests faces felony charges after flipping over a wagon and injuring a 3-year-old girl back on Friday, March 11th. Police said the suspect, Mr. Christopher Elder of 65th Avenue in Flushing, allegedly approached the girl's grandmother on 45th Avenue and Robinson Street at 6:20 a.m. He then began yelling at her and proceeded to flip over a wagon in which the 3-year-old girl was riding in. The girl fell to the ground and suffered a laceration on her head. So, cops from 109 Precinct did respond. The girl was taken to Flushing Hospital. So, yeah, Donovan Richards. Yeah, Donovan Richards, it's so full of it. He's for bail reform. And then look at this. Bronx Queens Expressway. U-Haul location. 30-year-old person was injured back on February 25th. Okay, 30-year-old man, excuse me. But I'm just so frustrated. I'm tired and frustrated of this. So, just disturbed. Yeah, what's Donovan Richards going to do? What's Donovan Richards going to do? He's just going to be there for show. This is showtime. No, what you need is, again, to repeal the bail reform law. We've been saying it for a while. I just want to take a look at 45th Ave and Robinson Street. I know where this is. We're going to look it up. So this is where it happened. And the reality was, this happened right by Flushing Medical Center. Interesting, huh? I know exactly where this is. Right by downtown Flushing. See, this is the red dot. See the red dot? Right there. And there is downtown Flushing. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up. You just can't. And then you got this going on. Pickpocketing a 15-year-old girl. I mean, come on. I don't even want to read this. I don't even want to read this. That's how disturbed I am. Oh, this is an urgent one. Masturbated on the M train in Middle Village. When did this happen? Just before midnight on March 12th, Saturday, the suspect approached a young woman on the downtown M train at the Metropolitan Ave station in Middle Village. The man proceeded to expose himself and masturbated in front of the victim before fleeing the train at Metropolitan Avenue. The woman was not injured. So, NYPD is looking for a suspect with an unkempt hair and a beard. Last seen wearing a maroon hooded jacket with a black backpack, blue jeans, and white sneakers. The suspect, in this case, appears to be black. Okay. I do apologize again. I am getting tired. This is what I wanted to read. Channel 12 MIA in the Bronx. I mean, really? Really? Here we go. 1770 Grand Concourse. 21-year-old man found dead. I mean, this is the 1980s all over again. And no one's paying real serious attention to this. 46th Precinct responded to the location after getting a 911 call. Sadly, succumbed to his injuries at Bronx Care Health System. So, private means was involved. So, obviously, ongoing investigation, no arrest, because, obviously, this is what goes on in New York City. You can get away with anything. It's looking like it. Unless you're a serial killer that is making national headlines. So obviously, I know where 1770 Grand Concourse is. You may be wondering why. For one, 48th Precinct's right there. And two, this is right off the Cross Bronx Expressway. Yeah, I'll show you. Yep, Grand Concourse. In fact, hang on. Let's just see if we can get a good street view of it. So this is where the apartment is. It looked like a decent building. And then there was a bank robbery. This is the last one we're reading. Because I'm just losing all the patience in the world right now to even continue on. So, NYPD source says a handwritten note in Throg's Neck on Monday. End quote said from an NYPD source, "I have a gun. I'm hungry, homeless, and I am not afraid to die. I will take you down with me." So, the bank teller complied, and suspect ran off with $700. This was at a bank at 3755 East Tremont Avenue. So, here we go. Oh boy, this happened yesterday. This happened on Tuesday. It's after midnight, so you get the idea. 4:50 p.m. Again, this is what's going on in New York. And no one seems to just pay attention. Yep. So I know where this TD Bank is. And the sad reality that I have to talk about this. My mom's friend's daughter was married at Marina Del Rey. This is not too far from Marina Del Rey. So I know exactly where this is. So there you go. I mean, what else is there to say again, other than enough is enough. I wish again more people would speak up. And I really wish that, people would stop being oblivious to the problem in hand and just realize that If you see somebody back in the streets that shouldn't be back on the streets, it's the main factor is to blame bail reform. And bottom line is, we've got a job to do in November. We got to vote out all these people that are making our lives miserable right now. Kathy Hochul's got to go. We all know that. She's clearly oblivious to what's going on. We're stuck with Eric Adams until 2025. Unless something comes up that there's corruption. Because there was clearly some corruption going on in the state Senate that hasn't been found yet. Or may never be found. And we're stuck with Eric Adams and his improper English grammar. So what could be worse? Dealing with the improper English grammar? Or dealing with the woman who looks like the Wicked Witch of the West from the Wizard of Oz right now? You tell me what's the worst scenario, and I'll tell you it's the woman who looks like she's from a 1930s movie. This is why I keep wondering. We made a mistake criticizing David Patterson for taking political gifts. I still miss David Patterson. He's a very wise and smart man. I'm rambling on too much. I'm done here. So, obviously, I'm going to follow the cycle of Pine Power continues. I'm not going to stay silent about what's going on in New York City. It has to be talked about. Because you can't let the great metropolis collapse. Once it collapses, the dominoes will follow like Long Island, and everything else will come with it too. So that's it.